here. Ooh, these guys are good as hell. I'm I'm watching. No, I'm watching this event. It's a one round. Well, actually, we're just gonna keep going after. I'm gonna check on the Fortnite channel if it's even up to watch on there too. Fortnite, where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. Oh, um, I want on a team. What the heck? Well, apparently you won. Don't you? It's because my friends keep trying to join, but I don't want them. I'm not gonna play any music right now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Reload Elite Series. Game number one starts with a bang. Josh and Yamzo come out with a victory royale to start things off. Oh my goodness. There's so much to break down because High Ground was just crazy. I'd love to take a look at the standings, though, because after that victory royale, Josh and Yamzo are
Ollie_Wood_42 left the party.
number one, showing the potential that they have.
I loved seeing Higgs and Curve there in that first game as well, right? Super low front side of zone, keep pushing on, they're really trying to make a name for themselves here. And that was a pretty strong first game, right? It was a top 10 to 7th place with 6 eliminations again, right? So, though this is just game number one, I have to believe we're just going to keep this pace going, right, Viv? I just have to believe this is Higgs, this is Curve, we can qual.
Yeah, a lot of the times I like to favor some of the teams that do play these, you know, kind of like front low or like low ground positions. Obviously, it is still being fought for. Like, we have some big name duos down there. Obviously, we're going to see like Colton Rapids start to fight for that as well. But, you know, the fact that we did just kind of talk about how chaotic high ground kind of looked, and the fact that Higgs and Curves are a duo that kind of are going to be playing that low to mid ground layers, and they're already doing pretty well. I feel like I would favor this duo just a little bit more than maybe I initially did, just because of how scary high ground looks.
Yeah, and I think we got to give credit. They only got 7th place, but 7th place is final moving zone, because we saw that final zone close and there were still top 10 teams. So getting that consistency in game number 1 is a great start for them. And if they keep it up, they're going to be on their way to the Esports World Cup.
Woo! And obviously I want to top my hat to Noisy and Neo in that game. 2nd place with 9 eliminations.
Yeah. Wow.
Man, I'd love to continue breaking this down, but I'm getting word. Games are ready. We're jumping right back into the actions of casters. Take it away.
Honestly, that was a good game. Number 1, Monster. Iamzo and Josh really setting the tone and the pace, contesting that high ground late in the game. But as you know, in an 8-game tournament series, it's the second half where things start to ramp up in terms of pressure. So let's just get right into game 2 and keep it going.
Yeah, I tend to forget how fast these games pick up and then close, and that's why we have 8 rounds of this ahead of us. This time, though, Higgs gets the touch base. You know, last game, he's saying, hey, Monster, give us a little second. Let me get down and situated. This time, he takes out threats pretty quickly, but Agers is here as well, so a lot of I guess influence here at the drop. Agers is going to find himself elimination. Curve has to play very smart here. Little does he know, Agers has got no backup, but better safe than sorry here. Talk about quite the mix-up as this all just went down that fast.
I thought it was just going to be double contested over at Hostile Hold. You got Dozier's team. You got, along with Tyler, you got Higgs and Curve, who kind of split off. And then you have Muzz. Muzz and Sphinx are literally on 2 different points of the map as of now. But Muzz already has a spot secured. Knows waiting until the last second to get eliminations can be good. You can make a run. But why not build yourself a cushion early? Already with this 1 elimination, Muzz is affecting the whole other side of the map. The big thing, though, does Acorn and Bolts notice that Sphinx might be a solo?
I think this is really interesting from Muzz's side, too, if you think about it, because all the commentary we provided game 1 for Muzz and Sphinx was, hey, they're qualified, they're playing very passive, it looks like they just want a shot at the money, right? But this is like a completely different tune here, and I think they recognize that as well, like you mentioned. But look at this, for Bolts and Acorn finding that early elimination here onto Salt. It's gonna be a nice pickup too, considering Salt and his teammate made it very far into last game, and they were playing pretty much, spoiler for some. Back over to Muzz, just fighting with no fear here. And he's actually popping off, claiming body after body. This is a big pickup, though. That's onto the likes of Scare. Obviously, Queasy's duo here, so Muzz has got to be careful. There could be danger nearby.
Yeah, this is, I feel like from what we've seen, it could be more. We've already seen at least 25% of the lobby land separate from their actual teammate in a way to try to get eliminations. And if you imagine, Agers was already in the feed taking down threats, so Muzz has some sort of a clue if he remembers that Ritual might be by himself. I saw in the feed that Poyo already got elimination onto Salt, so Enough might be by himself, and now he's taking a 2v1 against Pete and Poyo. I do believe he lasted long enough to get his teammate back in the game. Yes, he did, but he's gonna fall, and now they're getting put in the spin cycle.
Oh, there you have it. Last game. You know, if you missed them, now you get to see exactly what they're here to do. 2 quick eliminations for Peterbot and Poyo here. Already starting to rack things up. Meanwhile, in the feed, though, Boji gets the best of Rapid. Booga gets the best of Queasy. So a lot is already unfolding here in game number 2, as the action seems to be picking up here. But hey, what we're noticing, though, Jacob, like we talked about in the last game, is that duos, full duos, aren't quite yet fully eliminated, right? So there are still all the teams in the game that basically have a chance.
Yeah, I believe in duos compared to, you know, trios and squads. It's about a 12-second respawn timer, which gets cut down for every knock or full squad wipe plus elimination that you do get. So if your teammate does go down and you're able to get a knock, even if you can't clean up the elimination, that just gets him back into the game a little bit faster. And it's just all about surviving if you know your teammate went down. We saw Bolts go down in the feed before, Acorn surviving long enough, Peterbot and Poyo. A kind of a different approach that we've seen some of the other teams doing so far. We've seen solos venture out, try to pick up the eliminations, but Peterbot and Poyo, not being in game one, they have some time to make up, and they're doing it together.
Yeah, I like this. And not only that, they're not looking for solos. They're fighting full duos. They're like, what's up? What do you guys want to do? They are just taking the battle to anyone who wants to entertain them. Bugha sticking around for a little too long. He's poking his head out, poking the bear here. And now Peterbot and Boyo have officially marked them out and have considered if they want to push that way. We'll see what ends up happening. Take a look here, though. Jack and Boji, we talked about that Bugha fight. Well, it's Jack who kind of initiates here. Boji follows up, gets the finish onto Rapid there. And those are great points now starting to rack up. You know, when you saw the leaderboard there after game number 1, 6 elims was our first place team. Really not that much, right? Considering it's a reload format, you can get so much more. So I like this early aggression from everyone.
Yeah, I think everybody, you know, game number 1, it doesn't matter what format it is. It's kind of that feeler out type of game. How are the teams playing? Where are they landing? What kind of risk they're kind of willing to go for in certain situations. I think rather slow and tame game in game number 1, everybody is getting that similar idea. It's time to pick up the pace. It's time to get aggressive and really take control over their own destiny when it comes to this qualifier 4. You don't want to look back when you're in game 7, game 8, thinking, man, we should have just got more aggressive. 1 or 2 eliminations could have changed the course of our entire tournament. So I like teams doing that right out of the gates here.
Most definitely here. Well, start to zoom in here onto Chimp in 20's situation right now. Zone 3 here approaching. They're actually playing this nice and slow here, trying to see if they can catch an ambush, maybe someone unsuspecting, rotating nearby, but there's just no movement here in the center map right now. Rise and Curly don't want to expose themselves too early at all. They're doing the exact same thing, just kind of looking around here, biding their time, waiting for endgame.
The only unfortunate thing is if you kind of look at the difference between Rise and Curly kind of sitting in this spot, hunkered down, they're not maxed out in terms of their loot and materials, but comparison to 20 and Chip that have 20 builds combined, that's a world of difference. So the longer they stay there, the harder it's going to be for them as the zone gets closer and closer, forcing the action with a lot of these teams. Dozier and Tyler, no eliminations this time around. They probably saw how busy their actual POI was this game, and they're just trying to take a slower approach, a more careful and calculated one.
Look at this. Talk about careful and calculated. Queasy just trying to take his time here. Still working his way through the zone, but you can see the opponents are sitting right above him, and Scare's going to take that unnecessary damage here from the rotate. Queasy's trying to see what he can do here to back him up with some shots, but it's just such a disadvantage having your opponent sit up on this bridge, and Threats is no stranger. This is actually where he shines best. He's got some exceptional aim here. The Mammoth pistol in hand, too.
Especially since he's already upgraded it once. And that's one of those things you can kind of just see, even if you don't know where the shots are coming up, if at least 90 HP or more gets kind of chunked off a player, you know a Mammoth or a hunting rifle has something to do about it. And hitting both of these players down below, Threats and Visuals are now getting the confidence to try to push on over. Queasy kind of stuck in a weird spot, trying to go ahead and make it to where that indestructible terrain is on the backside, and that way he can kind of find a way out of this position, because even if Squeezy and Scare have to abandon each other, as long as one of them stays alive, that's a win.
Yeah, well, at least Scare and Queasy get hip to hip here. Visuals and Threats end up peeling back just a little bit. I'm assuming the zone revealed to them. They have quite some distance to go here. As do Bolt and Acorn now. The zone's going to continue to pull north, northeast. This is not going to be favorable at all for these teams. But hey, Bolts already has those 2 elims. So he's sitting pretty strong here. Going to go ahead and mark out Northern's duo there to the side, as Peterbot and Boyo likely playing the opposite side of that
Okay, YouTube, I'm going to be back when the live feed